Let's do it. Okay, and we're live. 3 minutes to air. Un momento. 3 minutes. What to do? MS-13. Yes. Yes and yes. My God. That is amazing. Wow. There you go. That's right, Kevin. All right, folks, here we go. The Friday show. We're live on the radio. 2 minutes. 2 momentos. Hi, Nancy. There's Nancy McCormick. No, that's what we want to do there. There we go. 1 minute. 1 minute. Here we go, folks. Share that you are watching. Noon Report, Governor McGreed, under the gun. All right, folks, here we go. Hola, there's Nancy. Hi, Nancy. There's Crystal. There's Dale. We got everybody. Roberta Farrell. There's Cindy. Haven't seen her in a while. Caroline. Folks, as you know, we will be imploring on the scene live stream starting this afternoon, tonight, and all weekend. So, all right, we are standing by for our cue to go live on the air on this pre-Father's Day weekend. Yes, JR. That's exactly right. Hand that down, please. At 12:06 on this Friday, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380, 99.9 FM, the chosen one, the Noon Report. Here we go, folks. A lot of people, as you know, the weekend, there's many media people saying, TGIF, that's it. I am done. I'm not going to read any newspapers. I'm going to not watch any news over the course. Like, let me know when Monday rolls around. And Monday is a national holiday, by the way, especially in Rhode Island, Juneteenth. But that's not the way we operate, is it? With On the Scene live stream. Folks, this is when the real grind begins. As many of you know, last weekend, and we have so many new people, very excited. We just surpassed, I think we had 52,000 now on the page. That's just followers, not people that then wander in and out. Excuse me, Toy Boat, which is fine. But like last Friday night, obviously we did all right. Yeah, 52,124 on our way to 53,000. The Facebook people project that we're going to be over 60,000 by Labor Day, which is very, very encouraging and strong and exciting and motivating. And thank you to everyone that tunes in, that subscribes to the page, that also sends stars, which is way of saying, hey, listen, the subscription is 24 cents a week. I know, it is ridiculous. I've told you, if I could, we'd raise it. Who knew it was going to get this big? But anyhow, it is what it is. We're rolling with it. So, but people say, I really like that. I want to encourage it. I want to see it. Otherwise, as many of you know, otherwise, things can be like a tree in the forest. So last Friday night, we did Cranston PD Live, 8:30 to 10:30. I was then at Miriam Hospital. I got there before 11 to about 11:40, and then ended up in Pawtucket at the initial scene and then interviewed the chief of police in Pawtucket and then also the mayor a little after midnight. Folks, that's you know why? Because that's when the news is happening. Saturday night, Oneyville, and then what a week chain of events that set off. Again, we had live coverage in Oneyville on Monday afternoon. Was they thought the suspect was holed up in that house? Turned out not to be. You know what? I'm still hearing from people, and I think right now it's a toss up. Which is the most talked about video of the week? Actually, we could start to vote on that for the subscribers because I know people love the raccoon on Tuesday night. But Monday afternoon was when they thought they had the suspect on Hudson Street. It's in the West End, over kind of near the Cranston Street Armory. I think that's still considered. I think that's Oneyville. I'm not positive because it's off of Westminster and Messier over there where the Hells Angels hangout is. It's between Westminster and Cranston Street. And then, by the way, some very nice people live over there, right? I mean, there are some very nice people that I've developed. One of the reasons I like going onto the scene is you build contacts, you build new people, and then when things happen, they're instrumental in alerting the chosen one and/or providing video, which is more important. But then Monday night, I stuck around, and I that could be the most talked about video. I mean, it's doing really well, but the Providence Police executed a full search warrant of that house on Hudson Street, and it's not your imagination. We were the only ones on site. A lot of times we go to try to be first one on the scene, but this was only one on the scene, as a matter of fact. Tuesday was the raccoon, and then Wednesday, once again, first one, only one on the scene, Union Avenue, when they took that little degenerate murderer out of the closet underneath the stairs. So very, very busy week. Now it's Friday night. Um, we are not doing Cranston PD Live tonight, even though I've already announced that 5 times. That's not. I realize that's not going to stop people from then posting messages. Are you right? It doesn't. I mean, just people just don't read. That's more than clear to me. So, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I say it or post it one time or if I post it 100 times. It doesn't matter. We're scheduled to do it next week, but that doesn't mean, for instance, last weekend we did do Cranston PD Live Friday night, but the largest element of coverage actually was later Friday night, and then Saturday, obviously, in Oneyville. So, with that said, but it is Father's Day weekend, and folks, I want to thank everybody. Of course, the success of the program continues to get bigger and bigger, and it just but there's so many things that we want to do and accomplish, and we continue to move forward, and we have Team One, and it just gets bigger and bigger. This portion of the program, and none of this would be possible if not for the support of our great sponsors like PR Landscape Materials and Garden Center. Stop in and see them. They have a great Facebook page. I don't normally use the phrase like Father's Day headquarters, but it is Father's Day headquarters. They have vegetables and herbs. Stop in, annuals, perennials, hangers, 10-inch, 12-inch moss baskets, 12-inch patio pots. They're waiting to meet Nancy McCormick. Tropical hibiscus, mandevilla plants. They're right off of Route 4. They have original plants, and I'll tell you what I think makes for a great Father's Day gift is they have so many different things you could plant and then watch it bloom, and you'll say, yeah, that was the Father's Day gift we gave to Dad or Granddad or whoever. PR Landscape Materials in Garden Center. Look for them on Facebook, 3688 Quaker Lane in North Kingstown. If you're in the general vicinity, if someone said to me, hey, I know you're going to be getting whatever, some patio plot, they have custom-made birdhouses. If someone said to me, would you mind driving just 10, 15 minutes to this? 2 seconds, I would do that. Juan would do that. Folks, but check out depetro.com. You'll see what the buzz is about. And again, as many of you know, all our platforms are just doing incredible volume. And we have the Oneville Killer Caught. I realize, we've been running, I had a series of meetings yesterday, different partnerships we're exploring. But all of the video, we are going to put up the Providence police briefing and some other videos as well. But I think that we have the raccoon thing up there, right? The raccoon should be up there. All right, we've had some. I've been giving some people some time off at depetro.com. All right, that should be up. All right, looks like Juan has to crack the whip. But we have the Matt Riley stuff. There's more Matt Riley stuff coming up. I also want to let people know, but and I'm going to touch on Matt Riley right now. Depetro.com, which is brought to you by the Coesit Inn. Now, Father's Day is this weekend. It'll be a great place, whether it's sometime on Saturday or it's on Father's Day, is the Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue, West Warwick. The owner is a very good friend of mine. The people in there are terrific. They're huge supporters of the program. That also makes a great gift certificate from the Coesit Inn. And they also do Grubhub and DoorDash and Uber Eats. The Coesit Inn, 226 Coesit Avenue in West Warwick. Now, the Matt Riley story. I was asked about this. It's my understanding, and I know this firsthand, is many times when they say there's going to be a court date, it's the attorney, in this particular case from Matt Riley, Mike Lapizera, meeting with the prosecutors. Now, he is facing the drug charges. However, it's my understanding that the child molestation charges kind of trump, so to speak, the drug charges. So I know people were waiting. Someone asked about him being in court on the drug charge. The drug charge. I'm not saying it's not important, right? The smoking crack, the councilman, but that's not why he's being held without bail. That's not why, as we've discussed on the program with Attorney Tim Dodd. By the way, next hour coming up, Attorney Dodd is going to talk about the legality of this body parts case out of Massachusetts that is so bizarre. I did a TikTok video on it. I'm going to do another TikTok video on it. I did a reel on it. It's one of the strangest stories. But that is coming up next hour on the radio show. And also Peter Alviti, director of the DOT, who's now the chairman of the board of RIPTA. He's going to be, you're going to hear him as well. That's next hour, radio show only, AM 1380, 99.9 FM. And then you can listen online at the website, depetro.com. But the Matt Riley case, it's my understanding they asked for a competency hearing. His attorney did. Now, we don't know how they're going to rule on that. But, and we'll check. I'm not, again, I want to stress, I'm not saying the drug charge is not important. He was found pullover. If you haven't seen the body cam cranes, we have it up on the website, depetro.com. It's also on the YouTube channel and so forth. I realize we have some different platforms, but Juan, we use different platforms for different things. So, all right, now I am getting word right now. That's interesting. And it, I think I already know where I'm going to be going. So that's, wow. Okay. Citizens Bank, Park Avenue, bank robbery. Oh, wow. All right, on radio, but on way at one. Coming up. We'll be heading over there. The Citizens Bank on Park Avenue, bank robbery right now. Boy, that's interesting. Well, I like when we have the Cranston police in the mix. Wow. Cranston PD out on Citizens Bank, Park Avenue for a robbery. All right, well, we'll be exploring that. Hopefully it'll go on for a little bit and one can get over there. I would imagine they'll be going through that, and we'll try to see what we can find out. Let me just find out. Citizens Bank, Park Avenue. I'm trying to think. Oh, is that the one right up? I bet that's the one right up from Reservoir. Or correct? Let me just double check here as I pause the program. Bank, Park Avenue, a brazen daylight robbery. Wow, there it is. It is the one right at Reservoir. Okay. All right. Yep, right near the CVS. Wow, bank robbery. Brazenness, folks. Folks, it is, well, they picked the wrong place. Cranston police will find out who the hell that is. Tell you that much. All right, we're going to be on that. Oh, there you go, folks. We're gonna be on that. First one on the street. Hold on. Toy boat. First one. Well, not gonna be first one on the scene. Live stream will be coming up following the radio program. So I said no Cranston PD live tonight. It doesn't mean we're not doing it this afternoon. All right. I do want to touch on the situation with Governor McGreed in just a moment. Let me just double check though. All right, let's stay on schedule here. Let's stay on schedule. This portion of the program is brought to you by AtMed Urgent Care. Now remember, if you are in need of urgent care, AtMed Urgent Care. Two locations, 1524 Atwood Avenue in Johnston, and also 5750 Post Road, East Greenwich. AtMed Urgent Care. When you need urgent care, if you want to go and wait in an emergency room, that's your business. Other people say, I need treatment like right now. AtMed Urgent Care. Walk in, urgent care center, two locations, all your medical needs. Harry bumped his head and needs stitches? AtMed Urgent Care. Someone is having trouble? AtMed Urgent Care. When you are in need of urgent care, AtMed Urgent Care. I'm going to follow up with this other individual. I know we're moving rather rapidly here, but I want to someone just posted something on Facebook that I find interesting. I won't say who. Stop, stop, stop. This is someone that I've communicated with in the past and follow her on Facebook. Posting your children online, swearing or urinating outside. I shouldn't even have to write this. But sadly, I've seen a few doing it lately, and it's sad. You're looking for your kids to get taken away. My child's under 4. If I ever heard him say something, well, she's right. He's getting a slap. They should be singing ABC or playing with toys. I'd like to see. I have not seen that. The people that I'm following, seemingly, thank you, Roberta, online are not. Sadly, are doing that, but I'm certainly open to it. That is amazing. And then people post it. People are posting this stuff online of children. No, she's exactly right, folks. And there are some people, right? There was that mother that said she is raising her children to say, shut the blank up. And then, hey, there are these people. One of the women posted recently, hey, it's part of life. They're going to hear it anyway. It doesn't mean they have to hear it at a young age. Just like that woman, as many of you know, excuse us, we have a 2-year-old who's trying to see the death, the sea. Like, that is a perfect example. That woman was upset that a 2-year-old couldn't see a fatal car crash. And then someone posted, I don't see, they're going to see it, learn it eventually. Why? Yeah, but there's an element of child, and let them be a child, and let them enjoy that childlike state. Um, no, they don't need to see that. Children don't need to see violence. Children don't need to see gore. Children don't need to hear vulgarity. You don't. That's the argument of they're going to hear it eventually anyway makes no sense to me in any way, and it's wrong, and it's wrong. Folks, this portion of the John DePetro show, and it's brought to you by Propane Plus. Now, listen, especially this time of year, you're using a lot of propane. Call Propane Plus today, 401-885-4209. In Massachusetts, 508-252-3359. It's Propane Plus, heating and cooling. You use propane? Hey, that's what they're in the business of. You can check out their website, residential or commercial. It's Propane Plus. You just go on their website, enter the zip code, residential, commercial, Propane Plus. Call them 401-885-4209 or 508-252-3359 for Propane Plus. They're always there when you need them. 3 generations. They're just terrific. It's Propane Plus. Now, matter at hand. First of all, a short time ago, Governor McGreed held a press briefing at the Rhode Island State House. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm not even going to give it the dignity of playing his words about this whole situation with these 2 clowns that work for him that went to Philadelphia. But he's the worst. Governor McKee went out And all he kept saying was due process, due process. Everyone's entitled to due process and blah, blah, blah. And that was his talking point for the day. Due process. Even brought someone from the administration to try to bail him out at times. I'm not going to go into great lengths. The guy, Patton, resigned. But what I will tell you is Governor McKee's rendition of events is preposterous. The governor's rendition of these two clowns went to Philadelphia trying to shake these people down. And then it, just several things I want to point out. Governor McKee still insists he hasn't read the email. It's a one-page document. He was briefed by his staff, but he still won't say he read the email. You know why? Because he already told the media he didn't read the email, so he doesn't want to admit that he lied. He said today that he called and apologized to these people in Philadelphia. So if you're going to pick up the phone and apologize, I could see if it was a 50-page document. I'll even go low. I could even see if it was like a 20-page document. Like, just give me the treetops here, right? You're talking about a one-page blanking email. Even if it was two. If I was the person on the other line, so are we to believe, so he called and apologized and he hadn't even read the email? Well, I was briefed by my staff. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think you'd say, I want to see it. I want to read this. Because sometimes, who knows, maybe his perspective might be different than his staff. He withheld the email. The only reason we know about it is Channel 12 broke the story. Governor McKee wouldn't release the email. The Providence Journal and Channel 12 went to court, or was threatening to. They appealed to the Attorney General to get it released. Attorney General Peter Neronha 2 weeks ago said it should be released. And then that's how we got to where we are. In April, did Governor McKee speak out back in March about these two individuals? No. Did he even mention the fact there was this email? No. Did Governor McKee alert people that the state police were involved? No. The other day, Governor McKee was asked, do you think they deserve an apology? He said, well, we have good people here and due process. But he never mentioned today's, he claims he called and apologized. His actions don't make sense, but I want to be really clear. I now view this. He has entered into Chafee-esque territory. And what a beating and pounding he has taken the past 2 weeks. But this much is clear, that this is the Peter principle in play. I know right now there are people listening saying he was a very good mayor of Cumberland, and that could be the case. That could be true. There are people that could be saying he was very helpful as lieutenant governor. That could be true. But what we've learned is he is not up to the job of governor. And there's an element of, I know of people who are successful and competent that have said no to working in the McKee administration or different positions within that cabinet and so forth, because they don't want to get involved. So there's a lot too that, people, good, competent, quality people don't want to be working for the likes of a Governor McKee and Tony Silva and Shahazian and the rest of the clown show. They don't. And a big problem is, but we're stuck with this guy for the next 3.5 years. He doesn't belong in the job. What's also unfortunate, folks, and again, you're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380, 99.9 FM. Good afternoon to all on FB. A problem is that no one seemingly is trying to rectify is this is not who the voters wanted. Helena Foulkes beat McKee in the primary day of voting. The only reason he supposedly beat her by 3,000 votes was because he gave the unions anything they wanted, especially cash and promises of projects. And so they ballot harvest, and they were able to ballot harvest enough to get 3,000 more, quote, mail ballots, even though they're not dropped in the mail. They're really just ballot harvested for the drop boxes. And so he barely beat Helena Bonanno Foulkes by 3,000 votes. But that is who people wanted to be the governor. And that should not be lost because I still see so many people, and I take issue with that say this is who the people chose. That's not accurate. That is not who people wanted. Like I've said in the past, people didn't want Seth Magaziner. Alan Fung won that race. Alan Fung won the congressional race for CD2. He should be in Washington. Why isn't he? Because he got 4,000 mail ballots and Seth Magaziner got 14,000 mail ballots. There's no way Magaziner legitimately got 14,000 mail ballots. They were grabbing ballot harvesting. So it's wrong. And the other one is Sabina Matos. No, she lost day of voting. Folks, I look at day of voting. Day of voting. Aaron Gukian beat her. He did. Fantastic race. He actually should have been the one to run for governor instead of Ashley Kalis. But anyhow, Rhode Island right now should have Governor Helena Bonanno Folks, should have Lieutenant Governor Aaron Gukian, and should have Congressman Fung. But we don't. That's one of the reasons. That's a very good way to frustrate people and cause malaise. Is people feel their vote doesn't count. And I'll be honest, I have fallen into that category. I still always vote, but if you're telling me, do I really think? No, I think my vote is canceled out by the way they manipulate the ballot boxes. And I'll also go further to say the session is coming to a close. And I'm going to say something. The Republican Party at the Rhode Island State House failed to put pressure to make changes. Now, they can argue all they want. They're outnumbered. De La Cruz in the Senate. I get that. Mike Chippendale, Leader Chippendale, House Minority Leader, like the guy. But, and I know people get offended when I say that, but how else would you describe it? Were they let's look at it this way. Were they successful in getting changes made? No. But we didn't fail. Now we're just playing word games here. I would argue, no, you did fail. Because if you had success, they would have made changes to the way our voting is done. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. This portion of the program, I want to appeal to people that are looking to lose weight. And that's why Unique Health, Sandra, she'll make those pounds fall off. Remember, it's not a diet change, it's a lifestyle change. Unique Health, 401-269-9155. Free seminar, Sustainable Weight Loss. Would you like to lose 25 pounds? Would you like to lose 50 pounds? Would you like to lose more? Wouldn't you like to lose that weight? And so you can still enjoy the summertime? Then you're prancing around at the beach at Bonnet or wherever, at Oakland Beach or Sand Hill Cove, what have you, in Lincoln Woods, and you're 30 pounds lighter? Call today or look for them on Facebook and Instagram. Unique Health, 401-269-9155. Free seminar, Sustainable Weight Loss. Get rid of the weight. Extreme weight loss. 20 pounds in 10 days. You could lose 20 pounds in 10 days. Rapid aggressive weight loss, Unique Health. Call Sandra, 401-269-9155. You can't remember the number. I do post it on Facebook. All right, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I do want to mention this story. It's just so bizarre. But the body part story out of where they were stealing it. Medical school body donation program based on trust. A little outside oversight. This is so disgraceful. Scheme to steal and sell human remains from Harvard morgue. The arrests of several people, the alleged scheme, steal and sell human remains. A grisly illicit market, to say the least. The indictment alleges Cedric Lodge, this creep from New Hampshire, him and the wife were stealing it. These are federal charges. You're going to hear Attorney Dodd speak about it next hour. Conspiracy to steal and sell human body parts that had been donated to Harvard Medical for research and education. God bless me. Excuse me, diverting, must have been that cheap blow last night, diverting organs and cadaver parts that had been donated. They were supposed to be cremated. Can you imagine this guy? Are we going to throw this out? Hey, you know what the drill is. Just put that in the dumpster. He's out in the car. Wow. Manager of the morgue, Harvard Medical School. He was terminated from his job May 6th. Denise Lodge, who's the wife. Katrina McLean, this nutcase, owner of the studio store Cat's Creepy Creations in Peabody. Joshua Taylor, that's the guy, half of his face is tattooed with piercings. He's in Pennsylvania, accused of taking stolen items to his home. Oh no, that's Jeremy Pauley. He's the one purchasing remains at Harvard and a mortuary in Little Rock, Arkansas. What did it take place? From 2018 March, unlawfully transport stolen human remains from Boston, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. It's so ghastly. Were they being trafficked? How do they allege it was conspired? They communicate with other defendants. Multiple occasions. Sell them human remains. Like, and I know who's buying this stuff. McLean, the lady in Salem, agreed to purchase 2 dissected faces for $600, then agreed to meet at 1 o'clock October to conduct a transaction. She's accused of shipping human skin to this guy in Pennsylvania, engaging his services to tan the skin to create leather. There are people that want to wear a human skin jacket. They are beyond. It's so ghastly. Allegedly then contacted, inquired about obtaining human skin. To the dude I sent the chest piece to tan. Shipped a tanned human skin. Who would it be in? But listen to this one. They transferred 39 electronic payments to the PayPal account, totaling $37,355 for human remains stolen from the Harvard Medical School morgue. $1,000 was sent with a memo that read, head number 7. November 20th of 2020, sent Denise Lodge $200 with a memo that read, brains. On or about October 19th, 2021, Paulie allegedly transferred $8,800 for stolen human remains, totaling $40,000, blah, 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 and it goes on and on. I think the whole total was over $100,000, but it's just so bizarre. And then they would even sometimes let them, I believe, pick, like, yeah, I'll take a head. What else you got? Oh, we have some skin. We have some brains for sale. It's kind of like Young Frankenstein. What was the name on the brain that you stole? Abby something. Abby something? Yeah, I think it was Abby Normal. I feel bad for these families that the deceased were purposely donating. You had people that attended Harvard Medical School that were purposely donating to have their bodies donated for the students to conduct experiments at Harvard Medical School. And instead, these idiots, I mean, it's just so twisted. But if you see some of the photos, and again, I did a reel on this on Facebook. This woman, Kate's Creepy Creations in Salem, Mass. People going in and like, wow, that looks like real human skin on the doll. And then she's just like giggling behind the counter. Boy, that looks like a real human head that you have with the decorations and everything. Yeah, it was a human head. Ah, I know. I can only talk about it for so long. Now, with Governor McGreed, I'm not going to go on and on. He got his head handed to him today. It's so, it's just pathetic, is what it is. It's just pathetic. It's just going to continue. As I have mentioned, we are just along for the ride. Now, that guy did resign. You know what else is where Governor McKee, his rationale just doesn't jive, is they kept saying that the guy was out at some kind of a mental health leave of some kind. Well, now this guy Patton is being totally thrown under the bus. So if this truly was, as Governor McGreed initially said, a mental health situation, right? If this was truly a mental health situation, is this helping this guy by throwing him under the bus in this way? By announcing to everyone, everything that was said? No. Governor McKee, this happened. For whatever reason, they then decided they were going to just try to sweep it under the rug. He never said anything about this. What Governor McKee, here's what you should take away. What Governor McGree did today at the Rhode Island State House, he could have done this in March. He could have had, or just it could have been the end of like a briefing. Oh, also, by the way, I just want to mention we had an incident. We had some officials go down on an out of state trip. It was brought to my attention. I just want you to know we're investigating it, and if there's disciplinary action, we're going to take the appropriate course. They could have got out in front of it, but that's not the way he operates. I'll bet even his pal Porkboy told him, don't say anything. We'll hide it. We'll say we can't release it. But then Attorney General Pina Nerona stepped up and said, think again, Harry. No, you are going to release that. Folks, this portion of the program brought to you by Falcon Pest Services, who I may be calling. As I've been told that we had some ants, apparently. I haven't seen them, but, it can happen anywhere. Part of it's the time of year. Part of it can be all of a sudden out of nowhere. Suddenly you're seeing some ants. Falcon Pest Services. I'm going to call John and Kelly later. 401-739-1322. This is who I would call. This is who I am going to call, as a matter of fact. Falcon Pest Services. This is for ants, bed bugs, termites, roaches, mice, rats, mosquitoes, many other pests. It can happen anywhere. As I've told you, they have roaches at the White House. They have ants at the White House. It can happen anywhere. It could happen at your restaurant, your condo, your home. Falcon Pest Services. Highly trained experts. Maybe it's one time. Maybe it's several times. Call them today. So, apparently, I wasn't there. We spotted some ants. First time. Not sure how this happened, where it came from. But I'm going to call Falcon Pest Services. Why not? 401-739-1322. Now, if you're having an outdoor gathering, what a lot of people are, maybe on 4th of July, just for the summer, Falcon can spray the outside of your home for mosquitoes. Get rid of them. Then you enjoy the outside. Falcon Pest Services. Call them today as I'm going to, 401-739-1322 for Falcon Pest Services. As I said, it can happen to anyone. Folks, that's one of those things that can happen for anyone. Unlike these people that every time you post a homeless picture, they're like, by the way, coming up later, there's a woman who's panhandling on Plainfield Pike. I'm going to post a short video of this later. And she's doing it on a regular basis. And she has a young child in a baby stroller with her. Now, this is on Plainfield Pike, I think near the Walmart. I'm going to post the video later. But I used to see this in New York City sometimes. These people would go to right outside the subway at rush hour, and they have the kids there, and then they're holding the sign and the cup. And the problem, I was hesitant at first because then people are like, oh, that poor woman, you have no idea. But to drag a child into that situation, how did they get there in the first place? They must have driven. I think she's holding a sign that says, I need rent money. And she's got the stroller there. I just, it's so, I think it's wrong. I'm going to post the video. I'm going to post it knowing there are going to be people that, how dare you, that poor woman. That's not a solution. That's not a solution. Panhandling is not a solution. It's by certain government officials, it's permitted, but it doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that. So it should not be. And I also just want to touch on, we posted these people sleeping at the Avon cinema on Thayer Street. And these people, that could be anywhere. I disagree with that. That's wrong. That's bummy. That's a disgrace. That's an embarrassment and it's inappropriate. Find work. Go inside someone's garage. You don't just lay out and sprawl out in a sleeping bag in front of a business. And I'm tired of these people that are basically aiding and abetting. That could be anyone about that is wrong. That is wrong. No, I don't believe that. Many times, the other night, when I was in Hudson Street and those goons that were on the sidewalk and everything else, you know what I did see? I saw people being either dropped off in a truck and they had the t-shirt on and they looked like workers, or they were pulling in. But many times when I'm out at some of these crime scenes, I see people, now just hear me out, that I don't believe they speak English. I'm willing to bet they're not here legally, but they're arriving home at 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6:30, and they have a lunchbox with them. Where do you think they were? They've been working all day. They have on the t-shirt from whoever it is that they're working for. So when you look at the other day, we had the video on Hudson Street when they were searching, doing a full search for the killer. Around me were people, non-English speaking, arriving back in the neighborhood, 6:30 at night, 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. And the guy was filthy, he was sweaty, he's got his lead back. One guy still had the hard hat on. The people that are friendly with the killer, they weren't coming back from any work. They were sitting on the sidewalk, yelling and swearing at the police all afternoon. Notice the difference here? So let me just put this in perspective. The people in certain sections are that, yeah, they're obviously poor. Look who they're living around, look where they're living, and look who the neighbors are. But they're working. They're not laying in front of these storefronts. I know many people, you watch Fox News and you watch Newsmax, and you think, because they post on the page, they're not illegals. You have no idea what you're talking about. Not in Rhode Island. I can't speak for other places, but not in Rhode Island. They're not. They're all, and they repeatedly, these people post comments. They're not. They're white, Rhode Island born. I'll tell you what they are. They're people not working, is what they are. Now, it is true they may have a drug problem. They may have an alcohol problem. But this business of laying down your head at night in whatever, a sleeping bag, in front of, and all of the defenders, the amount of defenders. Remember, just today, there's someone saying, hey, do you want to, we're going to go to Roger Williams Park and drink and get high all afternoon. And they talk to two people and they say to the first one, person A, hey, do you want to come along? And the guy says, yeah, I'm in. Why not? I'll call out sick. The second guy says, no, I got to go to work. It's constantly choices. These people that are laying in front of these storefronts, by the way, they're not children. These are adults. And it's bummy. It's dirty. It's wrong, and I don't believe with this business that could be anyone about that. That is a false narrative. That's the narrative that the homeless advocates want. That it's like a lightning bolt. They try to treat homelessness like it's cancer, like anyone could get it. It's not like that. It is most 99% of the time. It is a series of bad decisions. There was a family displaced by a fire the other day. And as a result of that, the Red Cross steps in and they try to help. And we can get you a hotel voucher and temporary housing. Do you need clothes and whatever, blah, blah, blah. We have safety nets. That's not what this is. It's not what this is. And this business of, alcoholism is a disease and drug abuse is a disease. Therefore, these people are victims and victim, 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 victim. And no accountability. No, wrong. Now that could be anyone. I completely fundamentally disagree with that. And stop saying they're illegals. You people have no idea what you're talking about. They're not. I like to post, when's the last time you're in Providence? I haven't been in Providence 15 years. What's your basic news source? Or I watch Fox all day. Or I watch Newsmax or whatever, One America. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Turn off the TV, take a ride. They're not. They're either black or white. Remember, in LA, there are 65 to 70,000 homeless, supposedly, and none of them are Asian. It is where homelessness is not attacked, it's a cultural problem. It is a cultural problem. It's a cultural problem. There are certain cultures that allow it, permit it, or the people feel there's nothing wrong with it. There's other cultures that frown on it and you don't see it. So those people, when I'm in the neighborhood and they're being dropped off or what have you. When I was with Cranston Police, we pulled that guy over. Excuse me, took a fast left. He didn't speak English. I don't think he had a proper license, but he was coming from work. He had on work clothes. I want to be very clear. I have less of a problem with that person than I mean it than these individuals that they're just gold brickers. They're lazy or they decide. One person, hey, do you want to drink all day? No. What is the other person? Yes. That's a poor decision. Series of poor decisions. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380, 99.9 FM. You can always listen online at the website, depetro.com. This portion of the program is brought to you by J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service, free estimate for any project. Call them J. Perry Paving, 401 732 1730. Now, this weekend is Father's Day. Okay, you're going to get your dad whatever, but you know what they'd really like? To get the driveway paved. J. Perry Paving, letter J, J. Perry Paving, licensed and insured, contracted company. No matter how big, how small, they'll give you a free quote. 401 732 1730. 401 732 1730. J. Perry Paving. High quality, fair pricing, exceptional service. Call for a free estimate. 401 732 1730. Letter J. J. Perry Paving. And remember, no one is better with veterans than J. Perry Paving. No one. So maybe if that's yourself or your father or your husband or wife or mom or dad or uncle, whoever, if they're a veteran, let's get the driveway paved. 401 732 1730 for J. Perry Paving. Folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John DePetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Remember, you can always listen online at the website, depetro.com. All right, now before we run out of time, let's see. It is Father's Day weekend. The weather's iffy, but happy Father's Day in advance. We will be out, obviously, working, covering all the goings-ons over the next several days, as a matter of fact. And then Monday is now a state holiday, Juneteenth. So that sounds like a 3-day weekend coming up. But maybe you're looking for some folks. Joining us on this Friday of Father's Day weekend is the Queen of Health. It's our friend Marie at It's My Health. Good afternoon, Marie.
Good afternoon, John. Happy Father's Day.
Happy. Thank you very much, Marie. I am willing to bet that right now at It's My Health, 1099 Menden Road in Cumberland, if someone were to stop in this afternoon or stop in tomorrow, I am willing to bet that you have some quality gifts for dad that the father who receives it would love.
We can certainly find some things for Dad without a problem.
What if someone came in and said, I want to get a quality gift from It's My Health for my dad at 1099 Menden Road in Cumberland, right across, diagonally across from Davenport Restaurant. What aisle, where would Marie, the Queen of Health, where would you lead that person into the store?
Well, I would certainly start asking questions about what their dad does. we do mostly supplements, not so much gifts. But if they're a tea drinker, we would have some things. If they
That's a
wanted
nice
some
gift.
incense,
Yes.
yeah. If they wanted some incense, we have that. If they like crystals and stones, we could do that. But do they work out in the yard? Are they athletic? Do they get some pain? We could offer some things that could help with that.
I'll bet also maybe a nice gift basket featuring some local maple syrup and honey. That would also make for a nice gift for Dad.
Yeah, nice local products, a gift certificate if they wanted to try yoga or Pilates, something like that.
Yep.
We could do a gift certificate too.
Natural skincare products, body oils, soaps always make a nice gift. Now, Marie, touch on those, some of the wonderful herbs, teas, and spices that you carry.
So we carry all kinds of herbs. We've got in the bulk, we're well over 300 of spices and herbs and loose teas. So many things to choose from, whether they're drinking it as a tea, making their own tinctures, or using it in cooking, using it in their food to add those herbs and spices into their diets. So many things to choose there.
Folks, again, it's Maria. It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. And just to give people an example, Diane, who lives in Cumberland, is a big tea person. And she loves trying different teas and has people over and so forth. And she found that she used to order them online. She then discovered, thanks to me, It's My Health, and found that, and Marie, I'm sure you're not surprised, that Marie carries all these different types of teas.
We do, and many combinations that we can suggest, and they can get varieties of things rather than just spending their money on one big bulk item that they have to order online. We can do small amounts, and we do that especially when it comes to spices, where people need something specific for a recipe, but they don't want to buy a whole jar of something. We can give it to them in small amounts.
Folks, again, it's Maria. It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. What are your hours on this Friday? And then what are your hours for Saturday for Father's Day weekend?
We'll be here till 5:30 today, and then tomorrow from 9 to 4.
You are the queen of health. You have so many fans out there, folks, helping so many people with the hemp and CBD products. Marie, thank you. Hi, say hello to the luckiest man in the world, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, John. Again, happy Father's Day.
Thank you, Marie. Folks, there it is. Marie at It's My Health, 1099 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Now, folks, good afternoon. You're listening to the John depetro Show. It's AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Now, let me see if my gun guy, let's see what Captain Francis has on his Facebook page. Again, coming up next hour, you're going to hear Attorney Tim Dodd, but then also with Facebook and on the scene live stream, we are hearing about a bank robbery. We're going to get more information on that. Wow, look at that new Beretta that Competition Shooting Supplies has posted. Okay, now also, John Francis says, I want to know what he's going to be closing vacation July 1st, will not reopen till July 19th. He's heading out to Ohio. All right, now, folks, these also, a gift certificate at Competition Shooting Supplies also makes for a great gift, because for the firearm enthusiast in your life, you can't go in and purchase this beautiful new Beretta that John Francis has, but you folks, on the line with us right now is John Francis at Competition Shooting Supplies. Good afternoon, John Francis.
Hi, John. How are you?
Well, first of all, a couple things. We know you got your vacation coming up July 1st, but Father's Day weekend, perfect to stop in for a gift certificate. But tell us about this Beretta that you posted on Facebook.
So that is a Beretta 92X RDO. So that's one of the latest versions of the 92 series that Beretta makes. They made an earlier version, which is virtually identical, except this one is optics ready. So it's seen more. That's becoming really popular now, where folks are looking. Not that they're necessarily going to put an optic on it, but they like to have the option of perhaps doing so down the road.
Folks,
so this one does have that capability.
Now, John Francis, you also posted some beautiful. Tell us about the Ruger and the how do you pronounce that? Tassis, and then also Thesis, and then the 6 Hoya. Boy, those are beautiful. Look at that,
so
Ruger's beautiful.
1911.
Wow.
And
Whew.
so that was in 10 millimeter. So that's a little bit more power than the 45 auto version that they make.
Boy.
So for someone who's perhaps might want to use it for handgun hunting, it's certainly suitable for that. Or just regular range blinking as well. Great cartridge for personal protection. The thesis, in fact, I got somebody looking at that as we're speaking.
Good. Great. Wow. I'm not surprised.
So that's a customized version of the number of different models that thesis makes. So those are made in Turkey, and those are imported here into the U.S. by Thesis USA out of Tennessee.
Now, John Francis, a gift certificate at competition also makes a great Father's Day gift.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
In fact, we've already sold a number of them
Good.
so far today. Other great gifts include, eye protection, pair of safety glasses, hearing, pair of earmuffs.
Yep.
An ammo box, for Dad to store his bring his stuff to the range in. We've got gun cases. We've got cleaning supplies. Ammo also makes a great gift. However, people need to realize if they're going to buy ammo for Dad, they have to have a blue card, either a blue card, a hunter safety card, or a Rhode Island license in order to purchase ammo.
What are your hours today and for tomorrow, John Francis?
So today we're here till 6 o'clock, and tomorrow 9 to 4.
All right. Thank you, John Francis. Talk to you next week. Folks, stand by for the 1 o'clock news.